Welcome to my channel. This is where we keep reality for real. My name is Gabriel, and today I have a guest, and he's in the person of Mr. Keneth Konadu. Keneth Konadu has a BSBA degree from Bowling Green University. He's also a trained realtor, that is real estate, but he currently works at Buckeye's Health Agency. He launched a luxury beard oil brand last year. And so he's the CEO, he's a founder and a CEO of luxury beard oil brand. And I mean, that is why we are going to be talking about today. Welcome, my brother.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah. So I'm very honored, honestly, I'm very honored to have you, for you to even respond to my invitation.
For sure.
If I look at you personally, on Facebook, sometimes it's very difficult to tell whether you are Ghanaian or you are Nigerian or African American. Right. Your accent,
right?
It's very difficult to but because I saw the name Konadu,
yeah.
So that tells me that no, he might be a Ghanaian,
right?
Yes, and so let's start from the beginning. I mean, are you a Ghanaian?
I am. I am a Ghanaian, first and foremost. I get a lot of questions. They be like, are you Ghanaian?
Yeah.
Or how would you categorize yourself? But are you a Ghanaian American? First, I always say I'm Ghanaian.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, but I am a Ghanaian.
Yeah. Looking into on your page, I've seen Nana Esiedu Ajiman, the third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to know is your dad or your granddad?
He's my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, he's my grandfather.
He lives in America here, right?
He doesn't. He lives back home in Quo.
Okay.
But yeah, he's my blood grandfather.
Okay.
Named after him.
Mm-hmm.
My middle name, Esiedu, comes from his last name, and you being a Ghanaian, you're named after. When your middle name is named, it should always be named after somebody your parents honor or respect. And my parents wanted me to be named after him.
Yeah.
They also gave me the nickname Chief. So if you don't know me as Kenneth, other people in the community will also call me Chief.
Yeah.
And I got that from him.
Yeah, it is from Quo.
Quo, yeah.
Yeah.
Epitaphy Quo.
So,
yeah.
So the Quo people, this is your son.
For sure.
This is your son. Yeah. But have you been in Ghana, right? Have you been in Ghana before?
I have multiple times.
But you were not born in Ghana.
Not
right?
born.
Yeah.
I was born and raised here in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Been in Ghana several times. The last time I've been was 2022, 2023.
Okay.
So I try to go as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And how's the
vibes.
The vibe in Ghana.
The vibes is there. I go at first when I was growing up, I'll go there to visit family.
Mm-hmm.
Go there to see my grandma, go see Nana, go visit him. But it wasn't until I want to say 2019. It was like the first time I went to Quo. And I got to see the palace. Okay. I got to walk around the streets of Quo. Yeah. I think we ate at some shop. I forget what shop was called. We were eating fufu. And so I got to ingratiate myself in Ghana. So I've been trying to go, especially in December. As you've heard the stories are true. Enjoyment.
Absolutely.
But I try to balance it. I try to go there not just for enjoyment, but also to visit family. They don't get to see me all the time. Me being and living here in the States. So I try to visit as much and try to ingratiate myself anytime I go.
Yeah. But your dad and your mom right here in Columbus. Yeah.
My dad and my mom here in Columbus. Okay. They were born and raised there. They came the late 90s. I know my mom, when she came, my dad came here first. Okay. I want to say in 98. And then my mom came in 99 and had me. Okay. But I remember, this is the story she told me, was she was pregnant with me in Ghana, I want to say around October, November in 98. Then she had me February 99, and then I was born here in
Columbus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So it's like you are Ghanaian, but I mean you are an American.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Ghanaian, but you're American.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at your portfolio, honestly, I've not been in America for all my life.
Sure.
I mean, I came to America in 2015. But the little that I've seen, work in America is it's not like the way it is in Ghana.
Yeah.
So for you to work as an employee with Buckeye's Health and then own your own business, it's not going to be an easy thing.
Yeah.
And I assume that is very, very tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it could be tiring. It could be, it's a grind. It's the, what we call it, the American dream, right? You could put your mind to anything. You could do anything. And luckily for me, the place that I work, or the places I work, let's start with Buckeye Health Agency. As a family-owned business, through my parents. Okay. And so I'm like the office manager at Buckeye. But I have two hardworking, understanding parents that also are letting me expand my wings, so to say. And so hence why when I graduated school, I got my license, my real estate license, became a licensed real estate agent here in Ohio. So I've been doing that, just being under my dad and my mom, learning the ins and outs of our business and trying to implement it into my individual business with real estate, but also with another business I just started called Chief Collections that I just launched this year. And so it's a balance. It's a give and take. It's a learning experience, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I think a person told me, you're young now, and this is probably one of the few times in life you get to be selfish. Yeah. And me, I 25, I'm figuring things out. I think this is the time to try things. Yeah. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. And just trying to not put any limits on myself. Yeah. And so I'm just using everything that I've been taught, and I'm still making my mistakes along the way to be better in the future. Yeah. Wow. Why Chief Collection? For me, it was I didn't want to just throw anything, just start anything, just to start something. I wanted to start something meaningful, something that I care, that has some type of value to me. And for me, being named Chief and growing up known Chief in the community all my life, I wanted to implement my culture in some type of way. And I felt like, people call me Chief all the time. People know that, I like to just be myself and be a people person and be the light in any room that I step into. And so I wanted to implement Chief Collections, and I wanted to just have a luxury brand that is simple yet sophisticated, and try to just have people like yourself inquire, Chief Collections, what are you collecting? I want it to be limitless. So the first of the collections is luxury beard oil that I just launched, and I want it to be something that I can branch out into different sectors and different industries. Hence why Chief Collections. So it's plural, meaning there's more to come, more for you to collect. Yeah. And so the luxury beard oil, is it the only product currently? So I have, so right now it is so I have the beard kit. How I do it is the 2 ounce luxury beard oil, and then there's a bigger one, which is the 4 ounce luxury beard oil. Okay. And then I have the beard kit to start off. Okay. Those are the products that I've launched of the first collection so far. I launched it in, I want to say in June. Okay. And so So to start off, that's what those are the products I have right now. Gauging, but I'm just trying to see how that goes first before I launch more products. And a lot of it's going to be catered to like male grooming to start off. You can expect beard balms in the future or sprays. And in the beard kit that I did implement was it comes with a beard comb with the Chief Collection logo imprinted, the scissors to be able to trim your beard along with the beard oil. Okay.
Yeah. Doing business in America is not that easy. Yeah. The last time I was speaking with a sister who also came on the podcast, and she's also a businesswoman, and I was talking about Nigerians who are more daring, and that's how I feel. Sure. Like Nigerians are more daring. Sure. Because even with the issues and then the difficulties in America, they still succeed. They succeed. You see, you can talk about big businesses in America that are owned by Nigerians. And so as I was saying it, she understood it. But she also was telling me that it's not easy in America to start your own business, which I also understand. Yeah. The question is, how did you start your business? How were you able to start this business? Because we all know that it's not that easy. But I mean, it's going to push somebody, you see, who's listening to this podcast, that you can also do it. You see. So how did you start the business? How was it?
I think it just had to do with just me being okay to fail. Because a lot of people think when you start a business, it's supposed to go great. You're supposed to gain profits in your first year. You're supposed to make X amount of sales in your first month. And a lot of times that's not the case. Yeah. You have to be willing to also put money into it. You have to understand, in order to make money, you have to put in money first. And you have to also have good marketing as well as good people and good mentors also that's to support you to get advice from. I think the mistakes a lot of other business owners that I see, they think they can do it all themselves and they think they have all the answers. Yeah. You have to have some type of humility within yourself to know, I don't have the answers. Let me go seek the answers from other people that are succeeding, that are thriving, maybe not even in your industry, but in other industries. And you have to just pick knowledge from all different types of people. Absolutely. Luckily for me, I had two loving parents that are quote people to the fullest. Absolutely. And they believe in being business minded, being business savvy. Yeah. They believe in just good business practices and also understanding to just step out and to try to understand what the market is telling you, but at the same time, just create a good product that makes sense. Create a good plan that makes sense. And you gotta hustle. You got to hustle. You can't just drop your business idea, brand, or whatever the case may be and just say, okay, it's gonna do itself. Yeah. No. And the thing you mentioned was Nigerians. One thing I can respect about Nigerians is they don't limit themselves to just one group of people. Absolutely. They cater to everybody and they cater to every industry. And so the reason why a lot of them are so successful is because they don't care what a lot of other Nigerians or Africans think. Yes. They are just going to push the envelope, push, and, just grind. Yeah. And I think that's what makes Cheap Collections that much difference, because it's something that is new and fresh. But it's something near and dear to my heart because it goes back to where I came from. I never forget where I came from. Yeah. And I'm proud to be Ghanaian. I wouldn't want to be anyone else. Yeah. I'm proud to have the heritage that I also come from. Yeah. I carry it with me every day. And I think using that as my business, it's not even like me using it to take advantage. It's like, this is who I am. I'm Chief. So for me, it's like, okay, using that, starting a business, also seeking advice, using my dad as an example for a mentor of listening to him and what he did and his failures and his mistakes and his successes, just using that into my business and, asking him what is an EIN number? A lot of people don't know this. Like, what does that entail? What forms do I need to file? And also having different marketing consultants. I will say I wouldn't be able to start this first and foremost without the lovely Omo, who's out in DC, who's a marketing analyst in DC, as well as her partner Bridget, who's also a marketing analyst, in DC. They have a brand called She Builds Us. It's a marketing agency that kind of builds small businesses and kind of brings them to life. So they were definitely the ones that helped me bring Cheap Collections to life.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about hustle.
Right.
Which is actually dear to me.
Yeah.
But before you hustle, you need to know exactly what you want to do.
Sure.
Most of the times when I make podcasts, I try to put myself into, as an example.
Right.
I came from Africa, Ghana. The culture where I come from, we study, we go to school, we study,
right,
and we look for a job.
Yeah.
We were not raised to, find something, to do something.
Yeah.
And so I've realized that most people come to America with that. And so maybe the only thing that they want to do is maybe to buy and sell. Buy and sell is choked. The system is choked.
Yeah.
You want to do something, but you don't know exactly what you want to do. You want to hustle, but you can't just get up and say, okay, I'm going to hustle.
Yeah.
You see? As a business person, how were you able to know that, okay, let me go into this industry or in this industry? How were you able to know what you wanted to do?
Well, that's the question of the year, because I didn't initially know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I graduated with a specialization in supply chain management. And I realized after I graduated that it wasn't something that I personally wanted to do. I worked at a trucking company called JB Hunt for a short time. And I realized really quickly this isn't something I personally enjoy. And as much as I want to work with other teams, and that wasn't something that aligned with me. So I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about real estate for a couple years now, especially when at that time the pandemic was happening. It kind of put a pause on everything and really reassess your life. And I wanted to get into real estate. So I took time. I went back to work at Buckeye, studied, got my real estate license. But also in the back of my head, I always remember as that little boy that was in my mom's and dad's African shop, where we sold African movies, Nollywood movies, African textiles, laces. And we sold a whole bunch of, bracelets, jewelry, which is where a lot of people got to know my parents in the community before we even got the home health agency. And so with that core market already at place with Sierra Leone's, Nigerians, and Ghanaians that would come, and other African, and other, even not even African, just other clientele that would come to the store, I would look and see how my mom and dad would hustle, selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. It's not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah.
It's not easy. You have to sacrifice a lot. But fortunately, they were able to use that method to be able to get the home health agency to be able to just slowly build themselves up in the mid 2000s to now. And I think it's just from being genuine in your approach. When you're genuinely a good person and you want to do right by people, not only that, also did we sell movies and textiles, also did the money transfer. I don't know if you're familiar, it was money transfer. We do it from here to New York and in New York, Africa.
Okay.
And so, but I think for them, it went back to how they were raised as kids. Being raised in Ghana is a lot different from
Yes.
From being raised in America. And my parents, they definitely embedded that in me at a young age. Like, you know, the typical African things. You don't know how good you have it. Use your resources. Use your resources. We didn't use the things that we didn't have. And so for me, it was just like, okay, what fits me, my personality, and what do I want to make out of this life? So for me, I think if I didn't use what my parents taught me, if I didn't just be a student and just study and just continue to study, and even when I feel like I'm getting older and older, just continue to be humble and to know that where they are is where I'm trying to exceed. But at the same time, not everybody is lucky to have the parents you had.
That's
so
true.
Use them.
That's true.
And I just tried to be a sponge. I tried to learn, not just only from them, also their mates, also from other people that I've seen that are doing good things in the community. So I think it's just, it's hustling, but also knowing every day might not be a win. That's okay.
That's true.
It's fine. But are you going to come back the next day? Are you going to come back the day after that? It's the coming back. It's the persistence. That's what got them to the States and what kept them in the States. That's what got them to help so many other people. And not like as if they want gratification, but just because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You will, you know, we only have one of these things we call life. So what you make of it is what you will be remembered from.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, take that for granted. And I just try to keep that into perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. How is it easy for somebody to combine two jobs?
I don't think it'll ever be easy. We're in America. Especially with these taxes. I think it's not easy. I think you just have to prioritize what type of life you want. Are you comfortable with living in this area versus that area? Or if you're not, what are you willing to do with it? It's putting in a lot of hours above the 9 to 5. It's when you go home, you don't go home and just sleep and just watch TV. You're putting in more work. I think for me, it's just understanding that it's almost like when I'm in the office, I try to do what I need to do in the office, but whenever I have free time or I need to make calls and clients, I go ahead and I have the luxury, it being my parents' business, that I can make those calls to my clients and I can set up appointments. I can set up inspections for my clients when we get in contract. And it's not always like that. And for everybody. So it's not easy. I think you have to have a good relationship with your employers if you want to have multiple streams of incomes. And even then, and maybe if you don't have the best relationships at your 9 to 5 job, then you have no choice but to put in all the hours that you can in the other hours of the day, right? So there's 24 hours in a day. You roughly put in 8 to 9 hours at work. Those other 16 hours, you have to, what my mom would say, forfeit your sleep. And you have to put in the work. You have to, for me especially, you have to be able to be flexible, go on showings to different houses. You have to be able to set up different call appointments with different loan officers, different people or different credit analysts if they need to build up their credit. You have to also form your relationships, and you can't be scared of no. You're gonna get a lot of no's in life, and as you mentioned, you try to get people. Yeah. Some people say yes, some people say no. It's the same way in any industry, in real estate especially. Some people say, "Oh, I'm not ready to buy a house. I'm not ready to do this." Some people say next year, and some people are ready today. But if they're ready today, you have to be able to open your schedule and say, okay, can't make it to the gym today after work, or I can't go home and just hang out with my friends. I gotta tend to this client. And as I'm learning right now, you have to put in, I've been struggling with this myself. You have to also put in content. Social media. Social media is our best friend, especially for the younger generation. And so you have to use that to your advantage. So all in all, you just have to be able to put the time in. You cannot cheat the work.
The time.
That's the number one thing people, they think it's easy. Yeah. They look at social media, they look at the pictures, they look at the closing keys with my clients, they say, oh, okay, he's gotta be doing great. And it's like, that's not every day.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see the behind the scenes of, number one, what it took to get my license. Number two, the relationships you have to cultivate, the different people. And fortunately for me, it's also about also studying your market. Fortunately for me, using my resources, using my parents and their friends, and using them as a pillar of just building relationships. You know, because at the end of the day, for one thing I've noticed with people that do really good in life, they know it's a scratch your back, I'll scratch mine type of world. And I didn't really understand that until I began networking, going to different events. I know some people, I have some friends that it's like they might be afraid to go to different events, or they don't want to talk to different people, and I'm just like, well, how are you going to get to where you want to get to if you just are comfortable? I think because of who I was raised by, I began to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I began to just put myself in different rooms that maybe I would have never expected or would have never imagined. Yeah. A lot of that had to do with my parents, but also a lot of it had to do with just watching, informational stuff, watching different podcast clips of people who are successful. What do they do? Studying those traits and just trying to implement that to your life. So long answer short, just put the time in. You just got to put the time in. Yeah.
You said something about relationship.
Yeah.
That's one thing I never knew.
Yeah.
As young as I should have known. You see? And as you said that, it really touched my heart.
Yeah.
I was right here in America, and there's this pastor, what's his name? Something Salman in Nigeria. He was talking about how important relationship helps you to get to where you want to go. You want to go. As I started this podcast, I realized that it came to me that I really need good relationships. Right. Because you have to know how to even communicate to somebody.
Sure.
To invite somebody to even come on your podcast. Because who are you?
Yeah.
You see?
Yep.
You don't know, nobody really knows you. You don't have that relationship with the person. How would you even invite somebody to come on the podcast? So as you were saying about relationship, it really touched me.
Yeah.
How has relationship helped you to grow your business? You as a whole and your business.
It's helped me a lot. It's opened my mind to just not being small-minded. And because when you're young, you think you have all the answers.
Absolutely.
You think you know everything. But then when you form relationships and you see different testimonies and different experiences through everybody, you realize how important it is for relationships, because not even just because it's like, okay, I want to do it just because one day I might need it. Not just because of that, but because it's rewarding. It's rewarding to build relationships, and it's rewarding to just have people in your corner, to just be somebody you can lean on, whether it be for advice, whether it be for different opportunities, or whether it be for investments, or whether it just be for somebody that you can kind of connect with through shared experiences. And then using those conversations and how you are in those rooms, and if you're humble enough to just hear people's stories,
that's true,
and connect with them, that will then put you in different rooms that you never imagined. But it takes humility, it takes listening, it takes it also takes understanding that everybody's not like you. And that's okay.
Absolutely. That's
fine.
True.
But what makes this person that person? What makes them operate that way? And then you learn something unique about them, like, oh, okay. You know, you're actually a good person. You're actually a cool person. And you have different experiences than I have, but I respect you. And from that respect alone, I'll keep you as a relationship just because you mean well, you're genuine. And then maybe 5 years down the line, sometime, you know, they want to invite you to this person, meet this CEO. And then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate you, not just because of the CEO, because you even thought of me.
Absolutely.
You thought of me. Out of all the people you've met and dealt with and interacted, you thought of me because of that relationship that's been built.
Yeah.
And so it's just understanding that, you know, sometimes, yeah, you might think, I don't want to go to this event. I don't want to really talk. I don't like talking too much to people. And the biggest businessmen, they don't operate that way.
Yeah.
The biggest accountants, they don't operate that way. Your lawyers, your doctors, all of it's because of relationships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I personally have learned a lot. I had to, I mean, I have books here about relationships and all those things. I had to read to really know how to really communicate with people, to relate to people.
Yeah.
You see, it's not that I'm a bad, it's not that I'm a bad person, or maybe because I don't respect or something, but rather I felt that if I don't communicate to somebody or I don't talk to people, that is more even humility.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So like, because where we're coming from, sometimes your mom or your dad will be talking and you come there. You are not even talking to them, but you just come there and they ask you to go away. Don't talk to him. Hey, don't, you know. So we were raised with that thing. So I realized that now that has really brought me down, and until I had to learn.
Yeah.
I think it's not that late. It's not late, but I mean, it has something that I had to, and I'm bringing those things because I mean there are so many people struggling with such things.
That's true.
As we're in school, there are people who are not smart. But today, as we left school, they are doing well.
Right.
And it's because of relationship.
Yeah.
You 100%. See, for somebody to come and even work at your company, sometimes it doesn't come with your resume, but your relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So to build wealth, they say that it depends on savings and investments. How do you say that? Is it true?
Yeah, you gotta save, but when you save, you just have to educate yourself on what can multiply your money. Saving is good, but once that's what I'm saying, like you have to save. That's the number one. But once you save, you don't just let that, just continue to save. You have to put that money and invest, whether it be different business ventures or real estate. I'm still learning about even investing into bonds, life insurance. Like you just have to educate yourself, because from my understanding of learning recently, a lot of people who are well off, they put a lot of their savings, they put it in a life insurance and they put it in the bonds, and you know, they educate themselves about Roth IRA accounts. And I think it's just educating yourself in financial literacy. If you don't know somebody that does know about that. Maybe if you have an insurance agent, connect with them, see what picks their brain. Maybe if you have an investor that does, they specialize in multi-units. Maybe if you need a real estate agent help. I always say, try to use real estate as an investment. That's definitely something that can increase your wealth. But you have to have the right people to help you. You also have to know how to cut costs. You also have to know You might want to go take 3-4 trips a year and you want to go to Turks and Caicos. Or you can use that money and invest. And then you can buy more properties. You can get a loan from the bank and build your real estate portfolio and double your properties. So that way, those properties and those passive income that you get monthly can pay for that Turks and Caicos trip. I think it's just about cutting costs and not just being smart with your money, not spending it all over the place. And I'm even learning that the hard way, because sometimes I know I'd be a little reckless sometimes, and that's okay. It's all a part of the process of learning, but it's just about just connecting with the right people, learning about these different financial terms. What's a Roth IRA? What's an investment firm? Or what is a bond? Or what type of bonds or what are tax-free bonds? Like how do I just asking questions? I think a lot of the reasons why people also don't know how to build wealth or how to save, everyone's afraid to ask questions because they feel like you ask questions, you are not intelligent or they're too big to ask. They don't want to seem, but for me, it's like closed mouths will not get fed and should not get fed, because at the end of the day, you have to put yourself out there. If you want to be able to build wealth, you think all the wealthy people you see, they just are just to themselves. They close their hands. They don't say anything. No, everybody's talking. Everybody's picking each other's brain. You know, I always try to pride myself as like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I refuse. I just don't want to. I want to be able to surround myself with everybody that's smarter than me, so I can just pick their brain. Because I know I'm not. I know I'm not. I know I'm blessed. But it's that humility and knowing, okay, I'm surrounding myself with this person. He's a fashion designer. I'm surrounded with a person. He's an accountant. This person's an artist. This person's a doctor. But if they're all making money, how? Why? How did you start? What was that process like?
Yeah.
Who did you go through? So I think it's just, at the end of the day, it all goes back to what we always talk about, relationships. But it's also about asking. Just be a pest. Keep asking questions. If you know your dad is friends with, or even if you know a mentor that's friends with this person, go out to coffee with them. Go see, just learn about his story, and I think the more you ask, the more you educate yourself, the better you are.
Yeah. There's something I heard from Lois Hall's podcast, and he was talking about real estate and investment. I don't really know what it is, honestly, because coming from Africa, real estate and and investment, sometimes it might skip you.
Yeah.
I try to follow the podcast, but I really don't really know how real estate and investment works. You are a real estate agent. If you have a clue of what that is, I'll be very, very happy.
I would say I could use Columbus as an example. If you're able to purchase real estate, or if you have good enough credit and a decent enough income to be able to get a loan and purchase real estate, I'd recommend it. Because let's say you were able to get a loan, and maybe you're able to get a loan for, I don't know, let's say $80,000 for a loan. You have decent credit, you can get the loan. You would then use that loan and try to purchase a real estate. Maybe if you want to purchase a duplex, you want to purchase a duplex for that amount. Or if you want to include friends, you can co-sign. And co-signing meaning having another person that can be put on the loan in itself to be able to purchase that, or to be able to qualify for that loan and to be able to purchase that real estate. So then you would use that $80,000, buy a property. It might be distressed. So you might have to put some work into it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be able, and maybe the money that you do have saved up, maybe use whatever money you can to fix it up a little bit, fix it up. And then you can use that. You can either rent it out. So you can rent it out for however much you want to rent it out, depending on the area. And then use that rent it out, and that's your passive income. Let's say you get, I don't know, maybe say you get $900 a month or something, and you're getting income from that. Meanwhile, you're paying that mortgage that you got that loan from, you're using that money, whichever money you get from that, you use that money to pay that mortgage. And then they say, okay, and then maybe let's say you're making your payments on time, you're starting to build good credit. Already you had good credit and your credit is getting better. You then at that point, that's when the beginning of building your real estate portfolio. Then they see, okay, you're making your payments on time, you can qualify for another loan. And at that point, maybe you get a bigger loan, or maybe, and then you're connecting with a good real estate agent or real estate investor. I can get you a good deal for a good value. If you put some money into it, maybe the next property you buy, you put a little bit more money into it, but then you sell it. You don't rent it out, you sell it. And then that way you get a lot of that profits back, and then you could just keep regurgitating that same method. So pretty much all in all, because I don't even want to use numbers because each property is different. Each comp I run on different properties are different based on the area, the amount of bedrooms, square feet, the whole 9 yards. It's just a matter of finding good value properties and doing your research and finding like a good agent that can run comparative market analysis, what we call it, running different properties comparative to that area, and just continue to just build off of that. Because when a lot of people tell me I'm just waiting for the market to go down, I'm waiting, and those are the people I've talked to 3 years ago, and they told me, oh, the market prices are going to go down at some point. In Columbus, they've only increased each and every year because more people are coming. It's the fastest growing city in the nation. And it's only going to continue to grow with companies like Intel, Honda, Amazon that are here, and as well as Google. So the best thing to do is to hop in it now, because your value for that property is only going to increase. A property you can get $100,000, depending on the area, can be worth $150,000 in 5 years. If you have the right agent, the right investor. You just have to be able to understand. You have to play the long game as well and understand that real estate is an asset. Use it as your best friend. It's going to appreciate each and every year. And once people understand that concept, then that's when you can win in those investments.
But a loan,
yeah.
How is it easy?
It's not easy. It's not easy. It is never. I can't say it's ever easy. I can say you can get a loan. You could also get, if you have the cash, fine. If you have friends in private mortgage lending, that's also another way. Or if you have different friends that are willing to partner with you, that I would always use that instead of just going to a mortgage institution and getting a loan. It's just a matter of knowing the right people, but also starting off small too. It's also like you don't have to have any shame by saying, okay, I'm going to get the smallest guy. It's fine. As long as you're able to afford it, fine. Now, if you don't, that's why I say if you don't have the money, that's fine. Then you need to build your credit, work, build your income. And then the little that you do save, continue to save, build relationships. And then maybe get a co-signer, or maybe have a friend that's in private mortgage lending. And then after that, and you have the right property, you just continue to build off of that. But it's just a matter of first saving and accruing. Don't let that money just sit in the bank. Save. And then when you're ready to make that jump, then you find the right people to either get a loan or to co-sign with you. Yeah.
One thing I'm very passionate about is generational wealth. And ever since I heard the word generational wealth, I started thinking about it seriously.
Yeah.
Because most of us Black people don't have that luxury. We don't have it. We don't have parents. Most of us, not all of us,
right,
but most of us don't have businesses that we can lean on, or can say that, okay, even when we come from school, can say, I don't care to go and look for a job for somewhere. My dad has a job or a business that I can just go and then learn, not even work there, but even learn from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have it. But white people do have that. A lot of things that they can lean on.
Right.
You are a business person. You are a young business person. And so I know that you have that passion to raise your business that one day your children and your generation can stand on.
Right.
What are some of the steps that you are taking to be able to leave your business when you grow old? Can leave your business or what you are doing right now to your children or your generation?
Keep a good circle around you. You have to have people that motivate you, that inspire you. Keep them around, keep them close, and just learn and just be a sponge. Study from them. When you fail, when you succeed, take notes. What caused myself to fail today? Why was it slow today? Why did I not, or this month rather, what made this a good month for me? What did I do? And then different habits that were working for you, write them down and implement them in your daily life. Mentorship is very important.
Absolutely.
I'm even continuing to learning how important mentorship is. It's vital. Yes, some people don't have the luxury of having parents to be able to have it set up to have $1 billion business like you had mentioned with the people that you had just mentioned. But I think mentorship is vital because when you keep older people around you, the wisdom they have, it's not just because they're spewing stuff. Like young people, they're going to tell you what they want to hear, what they feel from their heart. Older people, they tell you from what they've learned and experienced and what they went through. So I use what they've gone through and use it, what not to do and what to do, and implement it in my life. I would just say continue to do those things, but also just know it's a marathon. Be consistent. Be consistent each and every day. There's gonna be days that you just don't feel like you don't feel like putting in the extra work, but you have to be consistent. And you also have to be also to put yourself and to not limit yourself. You also have to recognize using your failure is the only way you're gonna level up each and every time. But if you don't fail because of your fears and you're scared, you will never learn. And you will never know the true meaning or the true value of money. I've learned that from my parents. Like you have to work, man. You have to, and you also have to document the stuff that you're doing too. I've learned that even this year with my best friend, one of my best friends, he told me each and every morning when you wake up, write on your notepad what you're going to do today. Every day. Just every day. I've been slacking, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
He said every day, no matter how big or small, every day, just write what you're going to do down. And then each and every day you're writing what you do down. You're looking back at the days that you wrote, the previous days. It's like, what did I do? Was I productive? Make a schedule for yourself. Make a calendar of what you're planning to do.
Absolutely.
An agenda book is very important. That keeps you organized. That keeps you focused. Along with just keeping yourself busy. Keep being active. And just using those little traits and just keep regurgitating. Keep going on those same on those same paths. Because at the end of the day, those are things you're using to better yourself. Keeping yourself organized at home will also keep you organized in the workforce and in the networking spaces. So I would definitely say using those things.
Yeah. You spoke about consistency.
Yeah.
And recently I heard Dr. Mensa Otaba. I don't know whether you know him. He's a pastor, ICGC. He's a head pastor, ICGC in Ghana.
Okay.
And he was saying that he is not talented. He knows. He was telling them that he knows personally that he is not that talented. He's not exceptionally talented.
Right.
But one thing he knows is that his focus and kept going.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at what anybody is doing. He just concentrates on what he's doing, and then he just kept doing it. So anything that he does grows momentum within a short time because he just continued doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And I think that is consistency.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the word consistency. It means that the word consistency is very, very, very fundamental to business, as a business person or anybody that want to do something in life.
Sure.
The word consistency. How is it so important for you to be consistent?
It's very important. It's very important because if you don't have consistency, then you'll be easily swayed by your failures and your successes because you have nothing to lean on.
Oh, okay.
Because when you lean on consistency, there's more power in your work and knowing that every day I'm putting in work. It's not just sometimes or when I feel like it. It's like, no, every day, every month, every weekend, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And you gain more gratitude from your consistency, or even gratitude for yourself, knowing that no matter what happens, I didn't cheat myself. So when I succeed, it's because I deserved it, not because I cheated myself or I got lucky. And if I fail, it's fine, because at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to go again, no matter what the result is tomorrow, and I'm going to continue to come back hoping to see a better day. And when that better day comes, it's rewarding because you didn't cheat. You just kept putting in the work. You didn't get lucky. Somebody didn't come and save you. No, you were putting in the work. You were consistent.
Absolutely. And
I think when nobody can tell you how much work you've put in, because you know yourself, I put in the work. No matter what, I've done it. I've done the work. And when it paid off, you'll have a more appreciation for that. And that appreciation goes a long way because you won't take it for granted. At the same time, you know, when you get that success, when you get that rush, that adrenaline of, I had a great month. I got a lot of clientele. I got a lot of closings. You realize, okay, like this feeling, it's almost like you get addicted to it, because it's like this feeling, I don't ever want to avoid this feeling again. So you're going to work harder, more consistent, more days, more hours, because you want to keep, it's like you win a championship in the World Cup. Once you've tasted it, English Premier League, NBA champ, once you've tasted it, you want that feeling again. So you're going to continue to work harder and harder to reach that pinnacle. And that's what I think being consistent is just putting in the work so you can continue to get to that pinnacle you reach each and every day, week, month, and year.
Does consistency and passion works together? Because I'm asking this question because anybody that knows me may think that I'm not consistent. Right. I've never been consistent with most of the things that I wanted to do in my life. And I'm saying it because I just want to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Until recently that I started this podcast. And I'm talking about passion because I feel like I'm so passionate with this podcast. I wanted to do it. And actually, there is no, how do you call it? Encouragement or...
anybody pushing.
Nobody's pushing me.
Yeah.
But I don't sleep. Every time I'm thinking about how to do it better.
Right.
I'm learning how to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading. I am watching videos. I'm going to do it very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that I have been very consistent, but I have never been consistent with other things, a lot of things that I have done. That is why I'm asking whether does consistency work together with passion? Because it means that if you are not passionate about something, you might not be consistent with it.
It goes together. Because passion can lead you to the door, but it's not gonna get you to the destination if you're not consistent. You can have all the passion all you want. You could talk about your dreams and what you want to do.
Okay.
But if you're not consistent, what your dreams are in your head will just be that, in your head. Consistency is goals that are to be met. Passion is dreams that are yet to be fulfilled. So to me, if you want the success, I think you have to have both. I say that because growing up, I was very reluctant to take over the family business. Just because I had other things I wanted to do, other ventures I wanted to experience, or other careers I wanted to tap into before. But I think recently I came to a point where it's like, what type of life do I want to live? And if I want to live a certain lifestyle, I have to be honest with myself. And whenever I do, whether it is taking over the family business or whether it is just real estate or a different venture, whatever, I have to put passion and I have to be consistent. I feel like a lot of times in the past, I'd always like one of the two or sometimes both. And it's tough. You have your dog days and you're just like, man, I could be doing better. And you're just stuck or just going through the motions. And you're thinking, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. But then you realize the passion is what starts you. That's what gives you that jump. Okay. But that doesn't carry you through every day that you don't want to do it. Passion only carries you when you do, when you feel up to it. I feel a rush this morning. It's going to be a good day. Consistency is, even with my bad days, I'm going to do it. And I had to have that epitome where it's like, okay, if you want to live the life you live, you have to have both. Whether you like it or not, you have to attack it with vigor. And that kind of woke me up, especially this year, and seeing how everything has been going this year for myself. That passion and consistency are vital. They're like brother and sister together. And you need both of them to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. You know, I used to watch this movie. I think it's series, right? Show. And I was looking at the movie and I saw houses, big time houses.
Yeah.
And I was telling my wife, this is the house that I want to live. This is where I want to go.
Yeah.
These are houses that are $1 million. Millions. It's not just a million, millions. And I think that is what success when you have a house like that, that is what success is.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, in religion or maybe in Christianity, they'll say success is not, but that is not what I want to, I'm talking about, this is a practical success.
Right.
But it doesn't come easily.
Mm-mm.
You will never get to that level if you don't put some kind of energy into or effort into
right.
what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have started. You are actually doing it. You are on a road. Where do you want to get to in your business, in your life, where do you want to get to?
I just want to get to a level of comfort of peace. Peace within. Because for me, I'm my hardest critic. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm far, far, far from it. I know it's a lot of expectation. But I think I want to get to a point where I'm happy within myself. Whether that's living in the beautiful big house. Mm-hmm. As someday having a family where anything they ask is taken care of. No problem.
Absolutely.
Anytime you want to go travel somewhere, no problem. We can go anywhere.
Absolutely.
Any car I want, if I want to drive whatever, I can do whatever.
You can get it.
At any time. Mm-hmm. Just a place of comfort and peace. And at the same time, I also want to be in a place where people go up to me and say, that's a good person. Mm-hmm. He did a lot for his people. Mm-hmm. Though he has blessings, he uses blessings to create other blessings for other people. I want to get to a point where I can do that and touch different people from all different walks of life. And so for me, it's not even just about wealth. It's more so about comfort, peace, and knowing if I want to tackle any opportunity, I can do it. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of if it makes sense. Mm-hmm. But just a place of peace, comfort, stability, not just for me, for my family, mm-hmm. for my, my siblings, beyond. I think if I just get to a certain level of peace, whatever that looks like, it doesn't matter about the material things. That to me, that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Because even the people that don't have money, that fake it as if they do, mm-hmm. can go get those things. Yeah. They can, purchase it. So to me, that doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. There's no value in wearing this designer clothes. No. Mm-hmm. A lot of people fake it. To me, it's about family. It's about peace. It's also about stability. And for whenever I do have kids, for them to have whatever they want and to be able to want to achieve whatever they want with no hesitation. Yeah. No interrupt, nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing can stop them. And to just live on my own time. Have my businesses running, operational, not even on autopilot because I still want to be involved, but to have a great team. Yeah. And have great team across the board with cheap collections, with my real estate business, mm-hmm. and also with Buckeye. I want to be able to create great teams. And to have great teams, you have to be a great leader. And to be a great leader, you have to understand how different people work. You have to understand what makes different people tick. And you also have to understand what's going to drive you. And my motivation is my family. Mm-hmm. And using that to create great teams. I think to me, that's the best thing of just creating great teams from that and just seeing other people win. Not just I could be selfish and be like, oh, I want to get the Rolls Royce and win myself and win a life. That just doesn't do that much for me.
Yeah.
It's about seeing, man, I seen this person grind 5 years. Now they can buy the house that they dreamed about. Not just because I'm their realtor, but because they worked, and they were a part of my team, a part of Buckeye or Chief Collections, and now they can get that. So I think it's just about I think that's my goals, missions to great teams. I think that's where when I can say I have great teams and across all my ventures, then that's when I say, okay, I think I did something in my life.
Yeah. The luxury beard oil. How much investment in terms of time, effort, money,
Yeah.
You've actually devoted into that to really develop such a thing?
Put a lot of time and effort because each and every oil is handcrafted by me. I'm personally doing it at home. I'm personally concocting all the ingredients and to my liking, from the smells through the consistencies of each and different ingredient, and implementing them and making each and every one handcrafted one by one. So it's a lot of time, money spent into marketing products, ingredients deriving either from here, Japan, and Australia. And getting these ingredients and just continue to make them from the product design. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of money and time into it. And so for me, I'm not going into and expecting, okay, I'm trying to make X amount of money. No, because that's not how every business works. And for me, it's even deeper than that because it's creating my own legacy and my own footprint in this world. So yeah, I put a lot of time and effort into it. And so for me, it's about knowing that I put a good product out there. And I took my time, my research, from what benefits different textures for different men, from their skin and their hair follicles, what antioxidants are good for your hair that makes it grow from the deadness to the shininess. I put a lot of time into it. So it's a lot of time into it, but I hope it was well worth it for everybody.
Yeah. You've really done well.
Appreciate
You've really
that.
done well. And congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Congratulations. And I really enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise.
Yeah. You really inspired me, actually. You really inspired me. And I think that my audience will really appreciate you coming on the show.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I might not have asked some questions,
Okay.
but if there's anything that you want to say, it's open to say.
Yeah, my name is Keneth Konadu. I just hope if anybody doesn't remember anything, I hope they remember this, that I'm a person that tries to be a genuine person that caters to all people. And I just want to, like you said, just try to inspire my generation and the next coming up to just break barriers. Being a Ghanaian, a first generation, it's not easy. You have a lot of people in your ear of different expectations that they place on you. Be yourself. Be yourself. Fulfill your expectations. Pour into yourself and be the best version of whoever that person is. And just try to be the best you can be. And to not let don't let life be short. Let it be long, everlasting long.
Yep.
And be purposeful in everything you do. And whatever is for you will be for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is Mr. Keneth Konadu. Konadu, yeah. In fact, he's the CEO of Chief Collections. He also works for Buckeye's Health, which is the mom's, the family's business, actually. And he's also a realtor, a licensed realtor. Yeah. So we are so grateful to have him on the show. Thank you so much, audience, for listening, and your comments. I really want to see your comments. I mean, it inspires us to do more content. Thank you. And another day, I mean, we'll see you again. Bye.
Yes, sir.